We need to read, we need to assess ourselves, we need to contemplate on that, we need to meditate, then we need to open our mouths. Sensory awareness is the most important thing we need to emphasize with in mindfulness or meditation. Nobody is teaching about we need to use our minds sanely. Sanity, balanced sanity, stability is rather more important mental attitude. Are we really zero? Are we? Then why do we are getting hurt if people doesn't listen to us?
Good morning and good evening, friends. Omega Pyramid Dallas, PSSM Corporate, and Pyramid Valley International welcome all of you to day 81 of Stillness Beat, your daily dose of meditation and wisdom. So, friends, it's been a beautiful journey of 81 days, and today being the Sunday, the masterclass, we have Mr. Srinivas Reddy Sir with us to take us through the conversation and give us the wisdom. We all know him is the founder of Swadhyaya Yoga, man of simplicity who walks on the path of truth. So let us welcome Srinivas Reddy Sir to Stillness Beat. Namaste, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm said good morning.
So, sir, today the topic that you have chosen is soul mastery and inner blooming. So, what exactly is soul and how do we master it? Please take us through it, sir.
So the point is, it's like actually I uh, Sharma, he was calling me for a class, and I was going through all the literature we have, what have been reading. Then spontaneously, I had to decide some title for the class. So I just picked up the names of the books which have been going through. So the point is, you people have named this platform as Stillness Beat. Something like tune in, tune up, and transform. Okay. So stillness, meditation, all these things happen when something in nature, when a flower blooms, it means it is like coming, the process of transformation is happening because the flower blooms. And all these stillness activities, the most of the world is stagnant or stuck in their own way of self obsession. There should be some methodology or some model which shows your meditation or your stillness or your silence is blooming inside. That inquiry, that real factual based confidence, every seeker should know. So, from esoteric science, Torkom Saraydarian, he wrote a small booklet called Inner Blooming. So, because whenever personally we have any questions regarding our own journey, we always touch the fundamentals. So, I wanted to talk about that point and one more soul mastery book, which, in 1990s, Sonia Choquette, she wrote a book called Soul Purpose and Soul, book on soul purposes and soul lessons. So after so many years, even she had an extension of that concept. How every seeker, from student level to apprentice to journeyman and to master every lesson, and most of the people nowadays are in a so-called in a foggy, dreamy nature. They quantum jump it directly to the mastery level, but it happens so gradually and gradiently. So even I want to encapsulate or reconsider that concept, which she wrote the extension of the book, and she named it as Soul Mastery by Sonia Choquette. Both the things, will make you know it makes you humble and in a state of people will know where their consciousness is, so that they'll decide what kind of practices, what kind of book reading, what kind of Sajjan Sangatyam will take their consciousness into much deeper consciousness levels. So I decided these two books. So even I have Kindle versions. Please don't ask me after the class. I'll give you the details. So let me start, because can you give me some sharing options? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
So this is the book. Always, 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 always. Whatever uh, teacher you follow, you from India or from any ageless wisdom based things, he is the man, such a beautiful master. He always touches the basics, fundamentals, and that fundamentals is what are missing in complete all spiritual organizations. All people wants, they project, everyone projects so much of glamour in their way of approach. Sorry to say that, but this is what is real stillness is. People needs to tune in, tune up, transform, or body energy amplification technique. All these things are learned, or we assimilated those things from a fundamental phenomena happens in nature, that every flower blooms, every seed, every oak acorn seed should become an oak tree. That is what is transformation. And by default something is missing, because people never emphasize such kind of basic fundamental things. So this is inner blooming. Okay, okay. So one day a lawyer asked a philosopher, is there any high level technique by which we make the day longer? Instead of 24 hours, make it 30 or even 35 hours. Yes, said the philosopher, it is possible. If we increase our speed, we can make the space shorter between 2 points. Sometimes people are very quick in understanding, in creativity, and in communications. Such people work at double speed and live a full life. Some of us pass our days sleeping during the night and working during the day, but most of us pass our days dreaming or in a half conscious way. We are not awake or fully conscious about life. That is why our days and lives are very short. It is not time that measures our life, but it is our accomplishments that measures the time, the duration of our life. One of the men of the East called all his advisors with a stick in his hand. Brothers, here is a stick. I will put it on the table here. I want you to make it smaller without breaking it. Who can do it? All were surprised. There is no solution. They thought over the problem, and at last they came to the wise man and said, we cannot make it shorter without breaking it. The wise man again put the stick on the table, and going out brought another bigger stick and put it beside the former stick. It was shortened. We cannot change the duration of the day nor the stick, but we can make our speed faster, ourselves bigger than we were. If you notice the progress of humanity, one thing is very apparent. The speed, or in other words, humanity's progressive conquest over time and space. Actually, we are now living much longer than our ancestors, who supposedly live 300, 500, even 800 years, because we are living faster and accomplishing more than they did. But if we compare our present speed with the speed of life with the speed of the progress of around us in the world, we see that we are going slower and slower, living shorter and shorter, and dying at a greater speed. To live means to keep pace with the speed of the progress of the age. But what is this progress? There are 100 lines of progress, but we can find a common denominator and say that real progress is the broadening of consciousness and development of love, understanding, and beingness. This is springtime, and I am already seeing that the trees and bushes are putting on their best dresses. Nature is becoming more beautiful and more lovely. The trees are blooming and the flowers are opening their eyes and ears to observe the sweetness of life. Nature is in love. That is why it is blooming and releasing its beauties. This is the process it should happen if you start meditating. We should not, like, there is nothing called artificiality in inner blooming. If people follow stillness or silence or tune in, whatever word, catchy words you use, but if this inner blooming is not happening, then there is no point in doing anything. If inner blooming is happening, then it's okay. Okay, every Sunday, 40, 50 people are coming together for inner blooming. These things needs to be like, these are the equations. These are the equations. First point is delay is the source of all unhappiness. Conscious progress is the source of all joys. If a group which comes together, if they doesn't progress collectively, it means something is getting delayed in their progress, something is stopping their. But what are the spiritual equations? The author, he understood after reading Bhagavad Gita, after reading Taoism, he brought all kinds of mathematical spiritual equations so that at least people will know, at least with using the formulas, what kind of progress I am making in, is my inner blooming happening or not. So I wanted to share those formulas. This is the equation. Okay. Here P means progress, E means all. You people are so crazy about using that energy. But are we conserving energy? And how about the depletion of energies? How much are we, overcoming the depletion part of energies? A is aim, the purpose, vision. C means conditions. And four-dimensional progresses: physical levels, emotional levels, mental levels, spiritual levels. These four levels, the blooming should happen. Then collectively, if at all you apply this equation formula for your stillness group, then at every session, every month, every year, you will know the status of the progresses of the group. And without all these things, people are sitting and they are hiding their glamours. They don't work out with their emotions. They don't work out with their Maya concept or assumption. How much of assumptions have we really transformed into facts so that the inner blooming happens so naturally? And people are literally, I'm saying, with all these equations, you people are really in a daydreaming state. No doubt about that. Just a glamour that we are rendering some kind of service without any kind of scientific facts. And how the spiritual science is so scientific is because of such kind of equations. And all such kind of equations are derived from our ancient scriptures. And nobody is ready to learn first, basically. Already learned souls cannot progress. A sorry state of affairs. Everybody knows everything. But nobody talks about. Everybody talks about something abstract, talking to dead souls. or always in emotional excitements. Nobody talks about the fundamental formulas given in the ageless wisdom. Why such kind of things are not given in your by masters in your daydreaming meditation? Because people are full of glamours. That is what I'm saying. That is why I asked Sharma Bapu, please don't call me for classes, because I need to talk all this is such kind of facts. Because we read facts, we were trained to look for the fundamental points. Waiting for 40 years, nobody talks about this. These farmers are not only given to Srinivas, these farmers are given to total humanity. But solid state of affairs is these are not the things you want. You want something which glamorize your egos, which worship your egos. Such kind of things you people want. Whatever name you can put it as, stillness beat or whatever. But why you don't talk facts? Why there is no inner blooming happening? Because people are stagnant. You people are stuck. You want to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear facts. And these are the facts. And nobody should present facts. Because nobody wants that inner blooming to happen. And nature represents inner blooming. Whatever teacher you follow, whatever guru teaching you follow, if that inner blooming is happening, then fundamentally there is an error in the core. That is why we always should go for the fundamental points. If there is a problem in the seed, how can the tree grow? How can you get a beautiful inner blooming flower? How can you flower? If you are full of glamours, if you are full of illusions, if you are full of maya, if you are full of resistance, full of hiding, full of artificiality, how can blooming happen? How can the battery keep up the charge? Oh my God. And this is such a fundamental, practical book from 25, 30 years and nobody reads. And by default, nobody knows that such kind of material exists. Please go through this inner blooming. Please. If at all you are a meditator, something should bloom inside you, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And these are all the equations. And people talk about giving. Why people should give you money? I really don't understand. Because there is no transparency anywhere. And these are the equations: have plus give plus take plus share. If 4 things happen proportionately, then blooming happens. That is how nature functions. And there's a competition in this world now that everybody is talking about spirituality, everyone asking for contributions. But if all people are sharing it in collectively, then everything should circulate. Then why is money getting hoarded at one point? So people are like going with a model called power struggles. Leave your power struggles. Spirituality is not about power struggles. These are all not powerhouses. These are houses where inner blooming happens. Become natural. Stop your artificiality. Stop your political strategies in spiritual organizations. These are the things you need to talk in your spiritual trust meetings. These are the real strategies. And put whatever values are there, put in this equation so that you know your progress. That is what I want to convey in this class. That is how I see organizations. That is how I see all teachers. I don't see as I want. I see through all spiritual equations. And all the spiritual equations are derived from Bhagavad Gita's practice, secret doctrine practice, Taoism practice. These are not given by dead souls. So please think of this concept called inner blooming. Are we blooming? Yes or no? And your conscience will tell that you're not blooming. And listen to that. Don't listen to your ego voices. Don't be in a daydreaming state that you people are like flourishing like anything. We are not flourishing yet, because these equations give a kind of different report. What is unconditional progress? What is service means 4P is equal to 4E into 4A. So all these things, please read. These are not like prepared by me. These are given by prepared by authentic masters. The progress of man takes following 7 steps: objective world, self, family, group, nation, humanity, universe. People leave their third part. Nobody is happy in the family. They hide that part. Nobody is happy in the group. Okay, nobody is happy in the nation. Then how can you can claim that heaven is being prepared on the earth plane with so many deadly wars? It means everybody's individual contribution is less than zero. This is how the ladder is being placed in the nature, and we never like a tune with nature. Again, there is another kind of a style way of looking. You can be in union with nature. If union with nature happens, then inner blooming should happen. Conflict should decrease, harmony should increase. Development, unfoldment, or progress is to have gradually widening communication with life. That is the purpose of Swajaya Yoga. That is the purpose of interacting with others. To have such a communication, you need an ever developing range of sense and a gradually developing power of creativity. Okay? This part, and again, one more thing. Hare Rama. This is another one of the latest books. 22 lessons to reinvent your life. Like in 1990s, from Ray 3, Sonia Choquette, she got very authentic information about soul lessons and soul purposes. That if every individual who are into the spiritual path, there are 4 types of people. First type of students who want to learn the lesson. Seeing that, okay, there are so many students because this planet Earth is a school, and I don't see any students. And second part is, after you learn lessons, soul lessons, you reach a state called apprentice. You need to do some apprenticeship with the lessons, and by default, this apprenticeship people, they do apprenticeship with the ego of the people. They don't do apprenticeship with the soul of the teaching. And third is, this apprenticeship people, they leave because they really don't understand what's happening with them, and they force themselves into the phase called journeyman. They want to make changes in the world which never happens because their apprenticeship program was very incomplete. And the journeyman spreads the entire confusion into the world. That is why the 4th level mastery, soul mastery, is not yet being seen clearly. There is so much of confusion is because we never completed our discipleship level, student level properly. We never completed a curriculum called apprenticeship properly. We didn't do our training properly, and journeyman was incomplete. That is why there is no soul mastery. And like every Ugadi and like Ramzan, all these things, like every Ugadi is a new beginning. Okay, every moment is a new beginning. How can everything be new if we are with our old beliefs and old thoughts or old memories inside us? Old stuff always repeating like a tape recorder. You listen to somebody's narration and you repeat it throughout your life. That is why we don't do soul mastery. We are becoming personality based tape recorders. We mimic, we get domesticated with all people's YouTube information and we mimic. That is why there is absence of soul. That is what is known as disease called absence of soul. In soul mastery, always there will be like, if every meditation is something happens in you that is expressed in a way called new behavior by every sadhak. Every sadhak emits, transmits, projects new behavior, new understanding, new beginnings. Always we are stuck with our old programming. That is why there are no new beginnings. Soul sees every point in this creation, every moment in this creation is new. Every second in this cosmos, the newness is there. If we can approach, if at all we connect with that newness, then we are in that soul mastery. We bloom. That is stillness. Stillness means you need to connect with the core of the creation. You need to become a cosmic magnet. You need to master your personality things, your physical, emotional, mental, etheric phenomenon. You should be in control of those things happening inside you. Then you reach a thing called soul mastery. And what are the 22 lessons? She so beautifully she gave this. See, new understanding. You should have an intention of to leave, to transform your old intention to that intention should upgrade. In 1990, I gave this Sonia Choquette book, and people say, like, this is a great book. Yeah, I know, I read it. But why don't you read the simplest version given by her after 20 years? Everything, like, whatever is happening, like, whatever is happening in today's YouTube, we go with that. We never go with the fundamental things aligned. सब लोग आके बोलते धुरंधर अच्छा है, you become also धुरंधर fan. You don't see why Dhurandhar is good, why you don't think, you don't see things as they are. You want to see things as you want to see it. And my God, and if the soul mastery is happening in groups and nations, then the affairs, what's happening in today's world, these things don't correlate with those equations. Then this Sharma Papu comes and says, take a class. Now should I talk? Should see that your egos get add more to the inflammation of your egos, or should I talk facts? Again, I am in crisis. If I talk, people don't like. If I don't talk facts, something inside me doesn't like. If I should talk soul mastery. How can I talk like, pacifying people's egos? That is new understanding. Your intention is your power. Why are we meditating? Why are we reading books? Why are we attending stillness retreats? So simple. Where is the complexity in the mind stuff? Second, your feelings are your fuel. Nobody is connected with their feelings. People are like, they are connected with their self-interest. There is no feelings part. That is why there is no heart. Because there is no heart, we are not growing group wise. People are using their brains to the maximum level with disconnecting with their hearts. Nobody talks, nobody includes heart. So many strategies, far from past 30, 35 years, people are sitting in their trust rooms and only strategizing. What needs to be done? How to glamorize, how to whatever you know present. You don't have to do anything special. Be natural. Third, your imagination drives your experience into being. That is creating imagination. And where is the, nobody talks about creativity. Are we creating new forms or are we duplicating the forms given by other authors? We never create our own thought forms. We are creating our thought forms based on somebody's mechanicalness. Neither we participate in a creative endeavor of a spiritual investigator like Sonia Choquette. If at all I present some book, we already know. If you already know, you would have written this book, na. Fourth, commitment is intention is action. If all people's commitment is one, then why are there are so many n number of conflicts? Why it is not manifested? Everyone talks about manifestation because their commitment is so personal. That is why group manifestation is not happening. Collective manifestation is not happening because your commitment is self-interest. Nobody checks that. Because everyone, I can't go into everybody and see their commitment. Commitment is only through lip service. It's not from soul service. Commitment is intention, is action. Your inner guidance is your compass. Nobody talks about intuition. Yes, same third eye, same mastery gossip, talking to devils in the astral plane. The loving universe is your partner. If at all you go and stay in nature. Seventh, surrender to love. These are the things which gives you new understanding. Then that contributes to your soul mastery, and you don't have to worry about your personality things. And next comes new behaviors in the collective group consciousness, becoming present. If I become present, the listeners are in the past. If I am in the becoming present, if people are in the past or in the future, or people are already preoccupied with their own stories or other people's stories. That is why one person's consciousness is in the present, new behavior, and the other person is not in aligned with them is because of they are not upgraded to the new behavior. Be quiet and listen. We never cultivate listening from our souls integratedly. All is in divine order, a gift in everything. Look past appearances, choose with love, endings and beginnings. These are like, in spirituality, we should not look for the finite side. We need to look for the infinite side. Both finite and infinite side, they both are there in a given moment. But nobody is teaching you how to tame or how to tune into infinite side. And you people have a caption called tune in, tune up, transform. Then why are people seeing everything as a starting and ending point? Spirituality is about going into an endlessness, trying to understand endlessness. That is what spirituality. What is this tune in, tune up, to transform? There are no endings, there are no beginnings. These are the three possibilities. Everything is, people should understand what infinitum this creation is. Don't prepare a corporate slide and think that you are doing something spiritual contribution. 0 marks. Take people from finite to infinite. That is spirituality. That is soul mastery. Talk about inner blooming. And these are the things which, like, like we have been doing. And I think these things, these insights, these revelations, these fundamentals, can help every aspirant in their seeking. That is why I wanted to introduce this information. Please use this information for your transformation. That is what I wanted to convey. And these are like, these are the things. Inner blooming and soul mastery is like, everyone should cultivate that resilience within themselves. That resilience which comes from your sadhana, from your book reading, through your observation, unbiased observation. I am telling you, like unbiased observation. Observation should be unbiased. Observation of breath should be unbiased. And most of the people, we could advertise that observation of breath, but nobody is talking about like how biased are we observing our breath part. Observation of breath doesn't happen with likes and dislikes. If at all we understand this bias phenomena happening inside us, then observation of breath becomes so natural. If it becomes so natural, then inner blooming and soul mastery should happen with new understanding and with new behaviors. Every day we need to see something new with new behavior and new understanding in the people who do meditation practice. That is what is the role of Swajaya Yoga and the role of interacting with others. And these are the two important things which the two important pillars of PSM movement, and that is what we need to do. Talk fundamentals, become more creative. Creativity based on your soul information, soul intelligence, not on your personality stuff. Not by seeing 10 YouTube channels and copying it and presenting it and claiming that that is something. That everybody does that. Something should be downloaded from your soul. That makes spiritual journey a challenging thing. Then we become a journeyman, authentic journeyman. Then we master it. Please remember these 4 words: student of every lesson, apprenticeship, journeyman, and 4th is mastery. And all people are masters. I don't see anybody in student zone or journeyman zone or apprenticeship zone. How can we travel with such kind of group, you tell me? Everyone is a master. Oh my God. And the founder of Pyramid Spiritual Society, he used to always say that every day I am a student. He used to always say that. Because that is why, because he was a student, he asked for all new books. Whatever he learned, he did apprenticeship with that stuff because he assimilated that. After assimilating, he shared with other colleagues. That is why he mastered it. That is what he said be a master means. He was talking about his student level, about apprenticeship. He was talking about journeyman. Then comes forth, be a master. So that is what I wanted to present. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because if at all I have new information or I feel like, I have this information I need to share with these beat people, then I'll definitely come, okay? If there is no real transformative information, from my side, there is nothing that I can speak. Okay. Because every year, every second, there is nothing like whatever we read, I need to assimilate it, then I need to apply it for the 360 degrees and present it. It happens in a more spiritual inquiry, scientific inquiry kind of process. So as all people talk for 10 hours every day, I can't talk like that, 3 months for 1 hour I can speak, because it takes for me like 3 months of preparation to to express something. Every day, or people talk for hours and hours and hours, and I'm not a speaker, like, public pleaser. So every 3 months for 1 2 hours, I can speak, because we need to read, we need to assess ourselves, we need to contemplate on that, we need to meditate, then we need to open our mouths. So today, I was like, want to remind like most of the listeners, like, think of these two beautiful things: inner blooming. If that inner blooming is happening, then you are going in the right direction. And that soul mastery is with new understanding and new behaviors, and that should reflect in group consciousness. How we choose words, how we prepare a program, how we are, like, uplifting the consciousness of the listeners who are attending this program. These things are more important. People are not just listening to you what you are saying. You should, like, the way you present yourself uplifts them, is because you present with the most alive information, not with some information like, you don't help people to get degree certificates. You are making them a soul staff. So it is a different kind of orientation. What I feel is a different kind of orientation. In such kind of orientations, these are the things, that inner blooming, that soul mastery information, the genuine soul information needs to be discussed. So these two books, Soul Mastery by 22 Lessons to Reinvent Your Life by Sonia Choquette, and Inner Blooming by Torkom Saraydarian, uh, they'll help you to understand your own consciousness level, so that in every area wherever you need some improvement, you can do it in your consciousness. So that is what my contribution for the stillness beat. If you have any questions, I can, if time permits, because I really don't know what time schedules you people are going with.
So thank you so much for taking us through that very deep insight. Because every time you come on the session, you take us through that fundamentals, and we are, I think, doing our best to go with the fundamentals in the program. So. Thank you once again for reminding us to be going through the basics of meditation, basics of spirituality, and not glamorize what we are practicing, and truly keep contemplating on what we are practicing, and is the inner blooming happening. We need to keep watching, and as you said, every moment is a fresh, is so new. And can we really have that mindset to see that freshness in every single moment is the actual growth of spirituality. So
So,
thank you so much, sir. We have a hand raise from Devi, ma'am. Can we take it, sir?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prithvi. Sir, Master Srinivas garu.
Yeah,
Yeah, first thanks to Sharma sir to bringing you here. And you are saying people do not like I talk like that. Please change that. You know how much importance, how much necessity is there about the fundamentals. You stressed so many points. You know we are not getting taught. Sir, please come more often. We all request you. And if you are very busy, advise some books, a concept, the basic, what are the basic concepts about the if you basic concept, little few points, whatever you find in those books, and advise, and we will read those books, and these teachers, these masters will explain us.
sure, absolutely. I'll do that. That part I'll definitely do. Will do this. Thank you.
And they are talk, and let me talk in a lighter way. I'm a student in the beginner. I am retired, but I started recently. Prithvi said about the meditation. What is meditation? Learning. That's it. Forget about everything.
Yeah,
Why we are doing meditation? Purification of the heart, chitta suddhi. That is the concept. Forget about it.
yeah,
And the last week we did the infinite possibilities. The physiotherapist from Canada, what she was telling, purpose of life, what she was telling, the four agreements, the last agreement, doing our
Best.
every day. That is the purpose of life. So are we progressing? Are we soul progressing? Okay, even forget about it. You, if you do this sincerely, we get what we are supposed to get. That's what they are teaching. That's what I got from them. Purpose of life is the realization of soul, self-realization. We all tell like that, but they taught it day for yesterday. Purpose of life is doing your best every day, your full maximum best level. That's it. That's what I got. Thank
Yeah.
you both. Thank you, Prithvi, and thank you.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you.
come
Thank
more
you.
often.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that. Friends, if you have any questions, this is the time that you have to utilize to ask sir and get the best out of him. So please ask your questions or share your experience. The platform is open for it. So before we get questions from participants, you were talking about 7 levels, where you said from objective world, we move to self and then family and then group. So how do we actually go beyond self? Because you talked about what is not, but we want to know what is it is to go beyond self.
That is what I'm saying. Like, first, basically, uh, the entire spiritual literature or meditation stuff, uh, there is complete spectrum. Okay. People start the initial levels. People are so objectified, then they take everything considering their physical dimension, physicality, or people talk about materialism. Our senses are, some people's consciousness is so programmed that only their senses see the physical parameters. Okay, all physical parameters with some emotions, with something, some little brain activity, such kind of people are called as personality consciousness. So once you sit in meditation, you tune your senses, that you control the senses rather than senses controlling you. So that is a basic thing, like, sensory awareness is the most important thing we need to emphasize with in mindfulness or meditation. And that sensory awareness happens with people who have cultivated some kind of focus and attention with their meditation sadhana. So focus and fearlessness, these are the two things we need to see, so that we can say, oh, now this personality, this physical orientedness person, no, he is not no more a emotionally oriented person, he is not his own brain oriented person. These three things, if he worked out, if he integrates these three things, then he becomes soul. And there is so much of disintegration in a personality, because he thinks something, he does something, he feels something, means there is a kind of cleavage inside his own personality. That cleavages of personality should be integrated with the sensory awareness. Then he becomes more integrated with, he gets aligned with something more uplifting thing. Then this personality gets fused with the soul. Then he becomes soul. Then he needs to think about why people use the word called solar angel or higher self. First word is spark or little self. Then he becomes emotional self, mental self. Then he becomes soul. After soul, he needs to have a connection, communication with higher self, the so-called presence, higher self, solar angel. All these things are synonyms. After he understands that in his sadhana, then that thing unfolds to the self, self, That is the universal presence of soul substance. And this spark level, this emotional spark, mental sparks, without this integration, you can never understand that SELF. Without understanding the orientation happens in the spark level, and without integration, without alignment, you won't become soul. Of the soul, the solar angel, how it assists in your growth, and when it will leave you, then also you practice, continue your practice, understanding the self. That self, the Krishna was talking about in Bhagavad Gita. He was not talking about spark. So the basic thing is the pondering. What happens in everybody's brain or mind is directly, indirectly proportional to the substance. We are pondering more means rhythmic substance is not there in your mind. You are pondering, overthinking is decreasing means your mind substance, brain substance is becoming more rhythmic, sattvic. So people are becoming overthinkers, overanalyzers, or underanalyzers. But nobody is teaching about we need to use our minds sanely. Sanity, balanced sanity, stability is rather more important mental attitude. So self, you can see in somebody's behavior, the self, if he has an mindset of stability and mindset where he is emphasizing so much of sanity. These are the two virtues we need to see in their behaviors. Then enthusiasm, 365 days enthusiasm will be there in a teacher. That comes once he gets hooked up with the self. Self is like a more of a universal battery. And spark is a small battery, small inverters. And Krishna or teach Buddha, all these people were talking about something else. Like, they never said not self. They said not self means your mental identities you need to nullify. That they were talking about voidness and nihilism, or nullifying your ego means. They never said there is no self. They never said that. No self means your mental identity is whatever you are identifying with the object should become zero. That they call it as nihilism or void. So in spiritual literature, this nihilism, this existentialism, all these are all not fancy words. These words are loaded words where we need to see our consciousness reflection in why we are using those words. Are we really zero? Are we? Then why do we are getting hurt if people doesn't listen to us? I go to render service to people, they don't listen to me, and I am getting reprimanded. Why? Krishna never felt hurt if Arjuna never listened to him. He never felt hurt because he was an embodiment of patience. He was an embodiment. He had a different level of tolerance levels. Then why are we not cultivating such kind of tolerance levels? Because we are not understanding self properly. You read Adi Shankaracharya, you read Buddha, you read any stuff, Baba. You read Upanishads, you read Prashna Upanishad, anything. But why are people getting confused with sparks and selves? So that spectrum of literature is that the whole spectrum is there in the entire spiritual literature, but people hook into from their consciousness, they hook into the spark level literature and they think that they're talking, doing something regarding self, but that is not happening. Self is universal. You can't hide your fanaticism. You can't say India is great. You have to say that world is great. This earth plane is great, including India. And like, why are we creating more division in spiritual approaches. Already we are dying with so much of division. And again, some more divisions. And spirituality is about how integrity, how wholeness, how synthesized we become. We need to see the common essence. We need to see the photons, protons, electrons, everything subatomically and cosmically, microcosmically and macrocosmically. Both views we need to handle. So the self word is so, it's like self means the core of the creation, the core of the cosmic magnet. That is what we are talking about once we are talking about cosmic energies or meditation. Once we refer Krishna or Buddha or anybody, we are talking to that stuff, not less than that stuff. So, what I feel is like, the entire spectrum, if at all we give to every sadhak, they will know, oh, now I am at my mind level, I need to go to my infused soul level, then I communicate with my higher self, then I'll become more universal. That is how the spiritual syllabus unfolds. That is what is inner blooming means. That is why masters always say, oak tree, a acorn seed should become an oak tree. It never happens in a overnight. And we need to see the potentiality of acorn seed. Everybody has the potential to become an oak tree. That oak tree means you become your own self. So that another small selves come and reside and grow under that tree. They talk so symbolically, metaphorically, symbolically. So Bhagavad Gita, it wants to uplift you to that self level, from spark, from that integration, from that soul level, passing through higher self or solar angel or presence, whatever, depending on the culture. But they want to uplift the consciousness of the person to the self level. That is what every religion has taught. Either it can be Sufism, Hinduism, Taoism, anything. That's it.
Thank you, sir. So we have a hand raised by Anita. Let's hear from her.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, I just started doing meditation. It has been like 4 or 5 days I started the meditation. So
Okay.
as a master, like what is the basic thing I need to start with?
Madam, basic things always because have been in a listener shoes always throughout my journey. The first thing is like, which I have seen without bias. Initially, even we always thought of like, meditation is something which is, don't see meditation as a very separate attitude. That is the first request. And the three most important words to understand meditation and mindfulness for me and in my journey is, there are three other words we need to understand if at all we need to continue our practice more regularly. The first thing is, always be relaxed. Relaxation is different. If you meditate, you should be relaxed, or you can do meditation once you are relaxed. Both things are good. Okay. The
Okay.
point is, most of the people, they go into the meditation mode so aggressively, in a more turbulent mode. They go attend meditation session. Then sometimes it may give you results or it may not give you results, depending on your turbulence. But if at all you are relaxed, physically, emotionally, you are relaxed means if you are a bit calm, then whatever, how you attend this meditation session, it amplifies everything. It makes you more natural. So the first word I always is, think about the word called relaxation, means physical relaxation, emotional relaxation, mental relaxed. Then you attend your mindfulness practice or meditation practice, you will get some results about yourself. You can see some transformation in your behavior. That is first point. Second point is, be aligned. Like, don't get aligned with other people's resolutions. You be aligned. You should know why you want to meditate, whatever may be the reason. You be aligned with that part. Okay, I want to get out of this addiction or this unnecessary emotion. Something is disturbing me. I want to. Don't focus on that. If you attend in a more aligned way, all non-essentials will drop out from your own behavior. So the second word what I want to tell you is be more aligned.
Okay.
And third most important thing is enough of separatism, enough of seeing as us and them mentality, and become more integrated within yourself. A little bit integration in one session of meditation, and you become more integrated with your own emotions in the second session. That integrity, that alignment, that relaxation will make your meditation practice, you enjoy that practice more naturally. You don't need an external push or external inspiration to sit every time. Somebody won't come and uplift you. These three words, if at all you understand your meditation practice, you will enjoy that unfoldment and you become directly to the journeyman level. These three words are more important because these three words, we see it as a separatistic attitude and separate entity. People don't enjoy their meditation and swajaya because they don't think of relaxation. Always in a kind of information hoarding mode, you don't read books authentically. You need to sit calmly. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to see Iran war. Then you will read Bhagavad Gita properly. With preoccupied mind, you can never do anything. You can't use your senses properly. So either way, be relaxed, be aligned, be integrated, and enjoy your meditation practice. These are four things become a package. These four things become a package. And it makes you more economical with your own energies. So wastage of energies will decrease and you become more economical, and you don't have to focus on how wasteful energies are impacting you. Then you slowly start conserving your energies. So for me, the most important words with meditation or mindfulness is relaxed, alignment, and integrate. These three words with meditation, then your journey will be more authentic because your dependency on external guidance may decrease and you can rely on your own intuition, your own conscience. That is what is my experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for asking that basic question, which helps a lot of participants here, Anita ma'am. Thank you. So we have a hand raised by Vishal. Sir, let's unmute him. Sir, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vishal.
Sir, how much time we have to meditate every day?
I see everyone as same, Baba. There's nothing, there are nothing like senior meditators or junior meditators. The thing is, I have taken a new mobile phone. How much time will I charge it? Okay. So
Yes,
for
sir.
me, like start with 20 minutes
Get good
meditation, but
results.
I always advise people to go with the quality of meditation rather than quantity of meditation. Quality for 20 minutes is more than enough. After 3 years, you can increase it to 1 or 2 years. Don't sit for 24 hours of meditation in the initial stages and burn your brain neurons. Don't overcharge your brain. 20 minutes is enough for average people like me. If you're already a master, you may sit for 365 days. But like for average people, for human being, because I need to attend all other works, I need to read books, I need to talk to beat stillness people also. 20 minutes of meditation, quality wise, is then you'll slowly you increase your time. I believe in law of graduality. Okay, gradual awakening is permanent awakening. Don't go with sudden jumps. Don't be like a hare, be like a tortoise. Tortoise is the best symbol for time factor and spiritual journey. 20
And
minutes
sir,
more than enough.
which time is best
Morning,
for
morning, morning. After sleep, initial phase always do in the morning levels. Don't sit in meditation after you overwork and after doing a one day tour in Bombay. Don't sit in the evening time. Initially, sit in the morning times. That is the best time for to do friendship with meditation. That is a right timetable. But it's not a fixed timetable. Initial levels, do in the morning levels. Then you will enjoy it more authentically.
Brahm Muhurat is best.
Yeah. If you are staying in US, your Brahma Muhurat is different. In India, the Brahma Muhurat is different.
I am in India.
Okay, then do in the morning.
You are sir from?
I'm from Hyderabad. I stay in Bagambarpet, near Usmania University.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vishal sir, for asking those questions. We have the sessions happening every morning. The group, almost about 40-50 people, meditate together. So you can join our sessions and meditate with the group.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Every morning you start at 4:30
No, at 6 o'clock in the morning.
at 6 o'clock. This group is from India or from?
So this is a global platform. In India, at 6 o'clock, we start the sessions.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
You can follow our channel, WhatsApp channel. Sirisha, please share the group channel here on the chat. Thank you. Sir, it was really deep insight. Thank you again for brushing up the fundamentals and taking us through the basics of our practices again. And we would like to have you more and more because this is what is required for our true practice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Prithvi. Yeah. Yeah, you may give me some lenience, but Sharma Papu won't leave me. Okay. Okay, Prithvi. Then see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time and wisdom, sir. Thank you.